La la la. InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. It is I, once again, here, Tonya D, holistic Sha'medium and subtle energetic surgeon. Blessings to you. It's November 5th, 2021. So, how was your cosmic intentions? Did you have a heart to heart with the moon? Did you create a safe container holding space for your feelings and your new moon wishes and hopes and dreams? So I was up not too late, but I did some offerings. I went to all my shrines. I had many otherworldly conversations with my ancestors and the elemental beings. So it was pretty juicy. So, with that said, with the energy of today, it's kind of like bringing into alignment something that you might have began the journey at the beginning of the Chinese New Year, something that maybe started in February. It actually is the energy from yesterday kind of cascading into the energy of today. It's kind of like getting a spiritual upcycle that actually started then. So it's kind of like whatever you did end up doing yesterday to bring in the wonderful energy of the moon, Scorpio, which I love because I have a Scorpio moon, but it should also be in alignment with what you might have learned at the beginning of this year, kind of cascading in. So you might have some unique twists and turns and shakeups come in today. It's kind of like expecting the unexpected between the shakeups and the shakedowns, really, the dance. So it's as if really the thunder gods are cooking up this galactic storm, this otherworldly storm. But today we have this Yin Fire Snake day, and our day isn't really weak and it really isn't really strong either, because we have yin fire in storage. So our passion is like ready to literally get out of the box, like be released. So the fire energy of the day really needs some nature to get into the flow. You could light a green candle and bring in the energies of wood and kind of have a nice little violet flame going on. And snakes are like Jungle Book, the little guy, the snake in Jungle Book with those dreamy trance-like eyes. So you might just go otherworldly today in a trance-like state. And really the key to access is through our channel of our galactic heart. So if you're curious about the galactic heart, I talk about that in Change Your Stars and also in Uncover Secrets of the Other World. That would open that container for you. And I've shifted my programs to otherworldly pricing. I was actually called in by the angelic beings. So I actually have angelic pricing. Go ahead and check that out. I'm still kind of working through them, but I believe most of them are updated. However, if you were like me and you felt a little bit more excited this morning or sensed something happening and you just couldn't quite put your finger on it or identify exactly what it is, we're kind of in this season of creating our own sacred garden, our sphere, our inner and our outer shield. That's kind of why I relate the shaman's portal to the very unique container that protects us in our day-to-day inner world and the galactic frontier and our day-to-day. So there's like these three energetic spheres. So you might have a day today where you go on like some self-discovery where the truth, the authentic truth of who you are truly belongs. So if there's something in your field that doesn't belong or match that frequency, you're going to maybe watch or maybe feel it collapse and kind of fade away in a way, collapse in like a vortex is kind of what I'm saying. But anyway, situations kind of go through this breakdown in order to really get the breakthrough, the magic on the other side. But just hold your grid. There's no need to have unnecessary fear or stress in the channel. You know, take that inner breath, hold the note, if you will, the sound or the color, and exhale, release. You know, I always have been saying I am safe, I am protected, I am nurtured. So all the things that really hold space in my container, do what's good for your container, right? So take the time and ultimately give space to the pause. It's like we're going to go exploring down the conscious river stream and see the juiciness, or really see what is holding you from climbing that ladder, or holding you back from really getting into your skin and taking your own personal innovation away, like it's cascading away without you. And a lot of times we get conditioned on what the conditioning is, or the narrative. A condition that if we do this, then something else will do that. And you aren't really going to win at that situation. It really takes like just one sleight of hand to really collapse our container. So we really need to hold the force like young Skywalker, and just, you're doing great. That's like my memo every day, all over the place, actually, inside, outside, and whoever's around me at the moment. That's just kind of where that is. So holding the energy and holding the energetic force field of what your heart believes really opens up our soul to some of our innate prime directives. And then we have this greater understanding of where home is, kind of like E.T. So you might even feel like an alien, E.T. wants to go home. So, I often feel like what I do at the front door, whatever I'm doing is really out there. Sometimes I'm even seen a little bit out there to others. But however, this is my prime directive. It's the purpose of my soul and the spirit coming out of the otherworldly closet. So what happens is people try to really like piss on our treasures. So you are the treasure, by the way. And then they try to get you to believe in what they believe. Usually that comes from family, friends, authorities, on what a great life is. Society, it's kind of those thread lines. They're wonky. So it's kind of even the narrative of the mainstream TV. But if your heart isn't in the frequency or the line of agreeing, you go against somebody else's belief or opinion, it gets a little wonky. But you have to really stay heart-centric and stick to your heart and where it belongs and what it believes. So it's all this cosmic soup energy. So when we fail to protect our magical sphere, when these systems are what I call stuff that I no longer subscribe to, like I don't subscribe to the laws of man, they're really not my jury. My subscription channel is to the spirit realm, the realm of spirit, faith, the great spirit source, the oneness, the earth, Gaia herself. So, who are you going to trust? The greater spirit or the great earthly narrative? So today really is that day to stay in alignment with your heart, what she believes to be true. And then what happens is you're going to authentically find the village of where your heart authentically belongs and nurture that belonging, because you're not alone, Skywalker, right? So we ultimately discover through these channels of spirit, the galactic frontier, what we truly believe through our heart channel. It's the directive of others. They're no longer going to hold us back, trying to pull on our thread lines, keeping us stuck at a level. So we get to escape the container, start traveling up the ladder and going for our own personal juice. So we don't really belong where they're trying to keep us stuck at. So it really is this day to kind of elevate our structure and upcycle our sphere, innovate our heart, and stick with our heart's beliefs and just allow that juiciness that's inside of us to glow and flow and be the star, and just igniting our soul's purpose and merging it with spirit. So we really are we're at this place where we really start to feel the juice in our container. We are sacred, we are safe, we are protected. So what's on the breakdown list for the breakthrough? That could be a person, a place, a situation, could be, you have to change the oil in your car. Could be anything really, but really it's an aspect of life as well. A flaw in our behavior, maybe a habit that you really don't belong doing. Could like smoking, drinking coffee, all the derivatives of the bad and the batter, or just sitting on the couch for the experience years. How many people have been just hanging out on the couch? So really the best thing to do is sit back and watch the walls come tumbling down. There's really no need to actually respond. it's like you're holding your own personal ground and your force, and be the watcher of the threads by just allowing it all to collapse. And then the magic is really on the other side of that outcome, that thread line. So it's really a time to be congruent in congruency with both your heart channel on your day to day, and the challenges we often face are there to really expand that horizon. So it could be that whatever you do for work needs to be innovative. Your health needs to be innovated. So kind of respond in this innovated approach, and actually just respond differently, or no response is a response. And I remember once, well, more than once actually, when I was fired from a couple places, different times in space for me. But my response was just that the universe was moving me and I didn't get the memo. So God and universe was like, boom, you're going to get fired today. And I was in places where I really wasn't happy anyway. So it really was time to move on to a new thread line. So the same thing is going to happen just differently today. Could happen in relationships where our heart knows when the channel is done, and it's really time for this innovative upcycling in our relationship corridor or our work corridor. So today that kind of situation might happen. So just be more innovating in whatever your situation is and honor your heart's field. The high heart is going to reveal the juice on the other side of the breakdown. So you might see an orange, but yet the juice is the apple. So take in the new juice. Some things are no longer going to fit who you are. It's like it's time to release like the old wardrobe and really embrace a new line of clothes, so to speak. It's like coming out of the closet, shedding some skin, innovating your beingness, your bliss inside, and really just allowing the universe to be the star, the guiding light, like the master puzzle maker, creating a new map out in the grid for you to fit the new puzzle, and just putting it into place where it authentically belongs. So I guess I would say it's time to align with our core processor and our heart. So absolutely, the heart herself, the queen, is online. So is the shaman's portal, breaking some ground, right? And so is the crown and also our third eye. So we got a lot of higher energy juice going on, containers that are open. So I would breathe in and through the crown, the third eye, and maybe exhale through the heart. Chant or tone the higher seed sounds. I prefer the sound of silence. That's the Om channel. The crown is the Ong. And the Yami, the Yam of the heart. Just kind of make the Yami kind of, you could even sound each tonality through each of your energetic centers, but really make those higher energetic centers ready for innovating and cleansing and clearing out the cosmic debris, anything that's not letting you be innovative and holding you back, holding your reins, to be otherworldly, really, with the energy of the element as well, the elemental day. I would still utilize the sound of nature, the shushing. I would probably tone and shush, then not necessarily at the same time, or maybe kind of bring that in, the threads. So with fire as the element, I'm actually going to go with carnelian, a red carnelian. You could also download my mini chakra ebook. I have some stones and crystals and elements and some essential oils in there. But authentically, really the key is to play. So yes, the red carnelian, and I found an awesome picture for this. It took me a little minute. Look at that. The juice is on. So the red carnelian, it has a variety of names. It's the singer stones, the sunset stone, the artist stone. It has this magical, vivacious, creative edge, and like everything it does, it's got the warm hues of autumn, which those are a reminder to like let go and release during the seasons that don't serve us, to store our warmth and our light and our energies in our body, and to travel forward no matter if the path appears dim. So it's this potent healing crystal. It heals the body, the mind, and the soul in just one galactic swoop. So it has some physical healing properties, like all of the firestone. But carnelian infuses our body with life and light. calling on the powers of the physical energy. It's really about stimulating our muscles, helping oxygen to find its freer flow, and keeping our tissues and our organs kind of flushed. So if you feel, or maybe you feel like you're in a bind when it comes to your sexual energy, this stone might be able to assist, because this stone actually stirs up fertility. And even for those not wanting to go down that path, it might be an amazing aid, giving your libido a boost and just helping you to really fire up or step up fully into your own sexual identity and the power of it. If you suffer from lower back problems or rheumatism, you'll also find that carnelian, it's kind of a kiss of relief for us. It has this warm vibration that seeps through energetically, bringing healing to our bones and our ligaments and helping us to feel loose and limber rather than stiff and cold. It also brings this detoxifying flush. For those of you, or myself included, that might be in a battle with alcohol, drugs, or stimulants, coffee, right? Anything that doesn't really serve our overall health and also our wonderful well-beingness. As far as mental and emotional, if you need like a few more flames in your fire, it's always a good idea to bring out your power with carnelian. So this crystal is about gifting a blessing of vitality to those who are feeling a little lost or sluggish. It has this bright burst of energy that we get back on our feet and feel the drive actually to move forward, especially when it comes to our creative projects. That's why it's called the artist stone. It really invites us to write and to paint and dance and sing. And it does this by stimulating the warmth and the heat and loosening our limbs and just letting the energy flow, and really, honestly, to embrace our inner child and, hit that sweet spot to be spontaneous. So what's awesome is when we allow our creative juices to go wild, this gives us an entirely new lease of life or on life. It keeps us feeling motivated and confident, that we're able to really step out of the shadows. So if you've been kind of holding on tight to, say, anger or reining yourself in, it really is allowing us to really let all that go and get in the flow. There's new fires that are burning, so leave those bitter embers, just leave them alone. It's considered to be a stone that helps timid speakers to really raise their vocal cords. So that's how it earns the name of the singer's stone. So if you can't even hold a note, and I cannot, honestly, just bring in the carnelian into your life to ensure that your voice always rings true and you'll never have to kind of bite your tongue again. So when we're able to lift up our voice, the soul herself also follows. But as far as like a lot of orange healing stones, carnelian herself is connected to really the three lower energetic centers. The root center, the foundation, our foundation on the earth plane. So it's where our safety sits and keeps us grounded to the world, like holding us in that container of Mother Nature herself. So if our root center is blocked, it might feel as if we're totally off balance, and that the life we're living is constantly like this feeling of being on edge, or we're in a place of we have no security, we're insecure even. So when it's flowing, you can take emotional risk in life, because this center will always be holding that force field. And also the sacral center, that's where our passion, our intimacy, our inner fire is sitting. So if this is blocked, you might feel that you have a struggle to connect, and also joy almost seems impossible to find. So carnelian really awakens this zest for life, and just letting that energetic flow through the ground into your navel, or from the ground to the navel, kind of an upward swoosh. And also the last energetic center that's kind of connected to carnelian is our solar plexus. This is our personal power. It's the seat of our soul. It's our will. So it's the center of our self-esteem, and it's where our warrior spirit kind of sits in waiting. So if your solar plexus isn't flowing, which I see this a lot, then you might feel as if there's no fight left in you. But, fear not. Carnelian is here to call that warrior being that resides within you into action. So just the magic of that. And now, of course, the cards of the day. Here we are. Bingo. Aren't they great? So I went with my Sears deck, my Oracle Sears deck, but the Four of Pentacles. And honestly, I noticed earlier that everything I pulled was Pentacles, so it's kind of funny when I was taking the pictures. So I thought it was curious that we're on a 4-day in the season of cutting cords, and I pulled the Four of Pentacles. So this is like the message, she's holding on to her purse, and it's like we're building our life coin by coin, and we're reaching this moment of stability. So getting to this place is like this, it's a signal that we're at this place where we can rest and maybe reevaluate and take some stock in some things. Likely, we might be being reminded to kind of double check the foundation, maybe save some money for a rainy day. And how do you feel about your finances? Mine have been wobbly. I'm not going to hold that rein back, but I'm moving through it, just holding the force and just continuing towards my goal without over focusing on possessions, needs and wants. So it's kind of saying to let go of any jealousy that might derive from other people and where they are in life, because those negative feelings around abundance kind of breeds that energy of blockage, making it big to hold us back, even though, the magic is on the other side. And that's what we want to project out or traject out. So the tighter we really try to hold on to things, the more actually we block ourselves from stepping into the flow of wealth and happiness. So if a scarcity mindset is haunting our actions, you kind of have to ask yourself if you are looking down on others based on how much money they have or don't have, or looking down on them other ways too. So it's like actively saving and giving the world, and also focusing and feeling excited, and more importantly, expanded, because that's kind of the energy of the day. So some key words for the Four of Pentacles is like stability, generosity, saving for success, and accepting your own self-worth, your own self-value, being in universal flow with the galactic universe, and having the feelings of gratitude and the blessings. I have a blessing bowl on my desk, just being grateful for what I do have every day, and even assisting others, in times of their need, the balance of that. So I would say I live in the abundant life and have more than I need as an affirmation, and just kind of feeling into the juiciness of that. And then the next card I pulled, there we go. Look at this guy. I love that that looks like a wolf, but he's this old, I don't want to say he's an old geezer, but he's a wise man, the King of Pentacles. But you can see that he's like exerting this warmth. He's got like some, I would say, some fairy particles, some dust, light, starlight sitting there above that big coin. But the King of Pentacles is kind of welcoming us. He's in the study. You can see the book. So that's wisdom and knowledge. So he's sitting us down to have this heart-to-heart kind of conversation about life in general. He's done his own wisdom. He's worked. He's met his soulmate. He's found his wealth. But now he's looking out over the dreams manifested, bringing them into manifest. And he's offering us a very potent message of abundance coming and prosperity coming. But the most important thing to be done is to really enjoy it all, like savor in the sweetness that we really are, and just be in that energy, and enjoy really the lessons and the challenges and the failures and the success. Because I don't really think there's any such thing as a mistake. That's usually an opportunity. But he's reminding us to get clear on what we want to be, to create a plan, what we envision life to be. So there's this manifesting power in the longing, and a lot of this joyful expansion and bringing our greatest potential into existence, into manifestation. So happiness and, happiness happens when we do better than we did the last time. It's like we do better each time, the good and the gooder in the juice. And also in the pursuit of our own personal growth, just allowing ourselves the extravagance of whatever our heart desires. And the rest, the rest of it really is kind of this consequence of faith and having habits that are more steady, taking the courage, the solar plexus, to cultivate our dreams come true. It really is like I'm seeing like all of these energetic centers like boop, 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 percolating, I guess. So really dream your biggest light to light, dream in the biggest light, your biggest star into life. So some keywords that go with the King of Pentacles are like overflowing material abundance, patience, determination, being confident, being warm, especially if you're a leader, a warm leader, and providing for others, providing comfort and security and personal growth, and just knowing that all your goals are going to be reached or attained in prosperity and success. So that's kind of like, I dream my endless potential into existence with this steady desire and effort. It's baby steps or climbing the ladder, slowly but gradually. And the last card I pulled the Knight of Pentacles yesterday, and obviously I pulled it again today. But this one, he's in the fields and he's tilling and he's toiling around. You can see different mandalas of coins. He's got this beautiful horse. But he's actually in the joy of it in every second of it. He's actually more practical. He's earth than the other knights. So he really improves things for himself and also for the village, anyone who's around him, things he loves. He reminds me of the ox. He's steady and he's moving forward. He's consistent and he's also devoted, and he wants to make solid the foundation. So that's kind of the message, to take that extra care today and really multiply your harvest. We're at the end of the fall. We're heading into the winter. So it's really a time to show this fierce loyalty, this pride, and this trust of your own worthiness, and tend to your village, tend to your home, while at the same time uncovering your unwavering ambitions for the thread lines out into the future. So sometimes this energy is so stable that it actually feels repetitive. So if you're kind of feeling kind of resistant, or if you'd kind of prefer to stay in bed, you got to find the joy in your progress and your baby steps. So the journey is actually the theme. So you want to uncover your heart, whatever's stirring in your heart in that cauldron, with enthusiasm, by allowing yourself to believe in something bigger and brighter. So this is a card of infinite expansion with time and faith. And it's like our seeds are going to take shape. So really follow through on your plans and your promises, your heart, your prime directive, and really move any stagnant energy that's really blocking you from your authentic dreams, your heart's desires. So this is like diligence and hard work and determination, building material security, safety, and expansion. So, all of these cards really go with the energy of the day. So it's something like, seed by seed, I plant my future with my rock steady foundations of faith. I've been holding the faith channel for the experience. That's what I call it, the experience. Anyways, but again, it's curious that I pulled all pentacles in the season of Scorpio, as Earth, Her Majesty, is in Taurus, the sun and moon, or the sun and the earth. Yeah, the sun and the earth. So with all of this electricity of today, it's like charged for shifting with innovation. So it's like the old programming is all deleted. It's like deleting files off of your computer. Everything that's old, it's outdated. So it's time to really look into that galactic etheric mirror of growth and transformation, of planting new seeds and just making room for yourself to really transform and accept that transformation shift, as if you're like this butterfly just bursting out of that cocoon and spreading your little angelic wings on the back of your back, right? And also, you know, with Venus entering an earth sign, Capricorn, again, these cards go with that. Capricorns, you know, climbing the ladder, the king in a way. So your creative efforts take on this heavier tone. Capricorn's always heavy. Yeah, it's always heavy. And just protecting your juicy ideas because they're going to feel more juicy in the next few days. So kind of put them in their own little cauldron, their own little safety bubble. And what does your heart feel about the juice? You know, are you ready to scribe to a new channel, upcycling your system? The queen of communication enters Scorpio 2 today, so that would be Mercury herself. So keep your mind to yourself today. Keep the notes kind of sacred. I would go to your observation station. So, like, where is your mind flowing in that observation station? You might have a deep rooted kind of voice today, deep rooted, like deep water rooted. It could be more intense, the story, those sacred notes, or the scribe, the written word. So today, really, I would possibly allow my heart to be my scribe and allow life to kind of live out of the box, like get loud out of the box, and really love the life that you're creating in your corridor, your village. So ingredients like my beliefs are in alignment with my heart and my day-to-day reality, and just tuning into your heart field and have this uprising inside of you into the channel of your own personal belief system. There's no limitations there, and really be inspirited or inspired in spirit too at your core to really innovate the life you're actually meant to live. It's in this galactic sea of unlimited and endless possibilities. And just know that your heart belongs in that river of joy, peace, and love, and all those higher juicinesses. So I believe, like, my affirmation would be like, I affirm my beliefs are innovating me to upcycle my channel of love, knowing where my heart authentically belongs. So it's kind of like removing the derivative and recalibrating your ingredients. So I totally would be making this like a magical, effervescent day, like right after the energies of the new moon, which is still in that frequency. It's still in that wave. It's Scorpio after all, right? So, with all of that, thanks for tuning in, hopping on, and sharing. And if you share, just so you know, I will pull a card for the day in your name or as a collective. So just keep that in mind. And as always, InShalla, Ashe. See you on the other side.